I wanted to give some instant reaction to the news that the Seahawks have signed Connor Williams today. I think it's a good move. I'm going to explain why. If you are a general manager like John Schneider, who's gone on the record in the media saying that you think interior offensive linemen are both overpaid and overdrafted, you have to be willing to take chances like this, because the Seahawks over the last few years have not done a good enough job drafting to develop offensive linemen, to get a solid group of five who can build chemistry and perform at a high level. And they've not been prepared to go out there and spend big money on quote-unquote proven veteran players to outbid other teams to bring them in, or they've just gone elsewhere. So this is the kind of thing you have to do. You have to be willing to take chances. And yes, this is a gamble of sorts because Connor Williams has got the injury. It was said to be career-threatening when he had the injury in week 14. Obviously did not get picked up in free agency, despite the fact that he had an exceptional season last year up until week 14. He was the second highest ranked safety per PFF. He's put a string of decent seasons together. There was no reason for him to remain unsigned. He's 27, he's a good age. The injury really did spook a lot of teams and there were a lot of concerns about him, but he's passed the physical with the Seahawks. The Ravens were reportedly interested as well. This is the kind of move the Seahawks have to make if the GM is going to talk about, like I said, the overdrafted, overpaid rhetoric that he mentioned during the offseason. The Seahawks have had an offensive line that is constantly in flux. They change center nearly every single year. There are different players like swapping in and out. There's no chemistry being built. This is the one group on an NFL team that does have to have some time together. They have to know what each other's doing. They have to build something. You can't just keep changing things all around all the time. It's also the one group on the team, and the Seahawks have got a pretty decent team now, where you are looking at those five positions and thinking there's question marks everywhere. Charles Cross has to take a step this year. Laken Tomlinson's basically just a journeyman veteran at this point. Center was a big question mark because you've got Oliver Timmy, who's just like a late round second year player, Nick Harris. You've got Bradford and the rookie Haynes battling at right guard. That's a question mark. And Abe Lucas, who knows when he's ever going to be back to full health. And George Fant's a good stopgap, but he is probably just a stopgap. So it's the one unit on the team where you go, yeah, that was the area that they need to take a chance on somebody, and they've done that. They've created a bit of cap space. They've, with the Julian Love signing and some other moves that they made, Draymond Jones's contract, to be able to bring somebody like Connor Williams in, and now they do that. It's a good move for the player, good move for the team, good move for the player, because if he has a really good year, he'll double his salary from $3 million to $6 million in 2024, and then he can go and test free agency next year. It's good for the team because they'll hope that this guy can play guard or center and really improve this offensive line. And then, by the way, if you get to next offseason and he has done that kind of a job for you, you can maybe look to extend him. And then, look, then you've got a player who's at a good age again. He's like 27 years old that you can maybe build around. And if Charles Cross takes a step this year with Ryan Grubb and Scott Huff leading the offense now, and that's two players at a good age that you can maybe build around. And when's the last time the Seahawks have been able to say that about the offensive line? So really like this move. I said the injury situation is a bit of a risk, because if it wasn't, he would have been signed long before this, with the way that he's played, given there's such a dearth of talent on the offensive line in the draft and free agency. He wouldn't be on the market, but the injury has meant that this opportunity is there. And I like the fact that the Seahawks have been the ones who are going to take it. So let's see how he does this year. If it doesn't work out, nobody should criticize the team, because it's a low gamble. If it doesn't work out, he's basically spent $3 million to see if he can find a good center or guard. I mean, who wouldn't pay that? And if it does work out, well, you know, this could be one of the more inspired moves that John Schneider has made. And look, everything seems to be trending in the right direction at the moment. I know we've not even had a preseason game yet. I know that it's very early. But the noise coming out of training camp is very positive. I like what I'm hearing about the way that this coaching staff are working, the way that Mike Macdonald's coaches are building something here. I'm not saying that the Seahawks are going to have an amazing Super Bowl run in 2024, but just after what I feel personally was a bit of a stale period under Pete Carroll, and change was probably necessary a couple of years ago. It has been made this year. Just feels like things are moving in the right direction, and this is the latest example of that. So really good decision to bring in Connor Williams. Really like the move. Let me know what you think about it in the comments section. Check out SeahawksDraftBlog.com for more analysis during training camp, and make sure you like the video, leave a comment. Speak to you next time.